name is Daphne, and I'm one of the leaders of the Salvation Army in Leytonstone. Together with my husband Josh, we lead the Church and Community Centre in Leytonstone. We enjoy ministry in our area by leading a whole number of activities, which range from church activities such as Bible studies and prayer groups, as well as community activities like parent and toddler groups, after-school clubs, kids clubs, mentoring with children and adults, and so forth. But we also have activities which are seasonal appropriate, particularly at Christmas time. And that's how we came across the Rotary Club of Leytonstone and Woodford. About 7 years ago, the Rotary Club contacted us as they wanted to help us at Christmas time, and they volunteered to offer us food parcels. And that was the first contact that we have. Very kindly, they offered and donated 20 food parcels. These were very special food parcels. They weren't just your normal food parcels with just non-perishables and tins and stuff, but they had also some treats in them like coffee and tea and chocolates, biscuits, Christmas puddings and so forth. And it was a real pleasure to work with them that year and just to be able to give families and people that walked in these very special parcels on their behalf. The interesting thing is that the Rotary Club, they weren't happy to just settle with the food parcels. So the next Christmas, they contacted us again, and they wanted to again do the food parcel scheme, but they asked us if we were doing anything else. And it so happened that that year, Josh and I decided we wanted to see whether we could take off the ground this idea of having a Christmas lunch. But instead of having a Christmas lunch just for the elderly, we found there was quite a lot of provision for that age group, and actually the year before we had tried it and not had a big response. We decided we would do a Christmas lunch for families and people who had no recourse to public funds, and families that would be by themselves and not able to provide their children for a Christmas day. And so, of course, we came back to the Rotary and said we were going to do this Christmas Day for families and children, and they very promptly offered us a financial contribution. And so for the next couple of years, not only did they offer the food parcels, but they also gave us a financial contribution and helped us to make this Christmas Day happen for families and children. And we were able to provide them with a day of fun and laughter, of not only entertainment, but also good food and presents, and a feeling of a good family environment. A few years after that, we decided that we would run a toy appeal, and we had started with having this toy appeal scheme with only 25 children. We started fairly small at the time. The toy appeal consisted of sponsoring individual children in our community. However, the way we wanted to do things was slightly different. We wanted to sponsor children by empowering their parents. And the way we wanted to do this was to take referrals from local schools and children's centres. We would find adults who could sponsor those children we would give them the gender and the age of each child, and obviously not the names or any other data, and then get those adults to buy them a present of a minimum of £5, so that there would be a present which was a little bit better. And then the presents would be brought back to the Salvation Army. We would wrap those presents, and actually we would give those presents back to the families without the children ever knowing that they had come from us. So we wanted to empower the parents to be able to offer their children a better present that Christmas. As soon as we spoke about this present appeal to the Rotary, again they were eager to help us, and so that year they offered us 50 spaces. They would sponsor for 50 children, and that allowed us to open the toy appeal even further. And so they were not only giving us food parcels, not only were they paying for our Christmas Day lunch, but now they were also sponsoring for 50 children for our toy appeal. Come the next Christmas, and yes, you have it right, the Rotary Club stepped it up and got it a little bit further. And when I extended the toy appeal, by this point, the previous year we had done 150 toys for 150 children. We had increased it now for 200 children. and the Rotary committed to sponsoring 100 children, as well as doing the food parcels. And this year, not only were they doing these projects, but they also offered to run a Christmas party for children in the local area. So in the Christmas of 2014, the Rotary Club sponsored 100 children of our local area. That turned out to be 100 out of 300 that were specially sponsored children in our local area. They also sponsored a Christmas party, which they ran by themselves, providing for entertainment and food and presents for over 20 children from our local area, as well as the food parcels. As well as all of the stuff that went on at Christmas time, the Rotary Club have been involved with our Tuesday Cafe. So last year we got a phone call, which isn't the kind of phone call that we have every day, because we're the Salvation Army and we love to be able to help in our local community. A lot of the phone calls that we get, it's our pleasure to be able to help, are a lot about what can we do for people and not so much what people can do for us. However, the Rotary kind of break that trend. And so we got a phone call asking us what could they do for us. The Rotary weren't so much interested in only chucking money at us, but they wanted to do something more. They wanted to give of themselves and put some of their human resources into the work that was already going on in Leytonstone. And to Josh and myself and the whole of the team at Leytonstone, that speaks volumes. So we jumped at the offer, and we immediately met with them and said, we have a community cafe that runs on a Tuesday. At that point, we were planning on having a little corner of that cafe and converting it into a little employment center, which would have laptops so that people could come for free laptop lessons to learn how to kind of navigate on the internet, maybe sort out their benefits or write their CVs, to do a little Silver Surfer class and just help people to come out of isolation and so forth. And in all of that process, the Rotary ended up donating all of the laptops. They did some of the electricity and cable installment. And every other week they come and they volunteer and they man up the cafe for us, doing the serving and the cooking. So for all of the wives out there that didn't know that your husbands could cook and prepare soup, let me tell you, it is proven, and it's now on camera, so there's nothing you can do about that, Rotary Club members. So they're a huge help to us every other week. They're here and they're faithful, and that enables Josh and I to be freed up to do other things, to interact with people and to engage with them, or sometimes even to get on with some other group or some other work that's around. I guess as I come to the end of my little talk, I want to thank you for your time and your attention, but I would also like to say this. If you're sat there and you're thinking whether you'd like to join the Rotary or you're not quite sure what the Rotary is about, I need to tell you that I've seldomly come across a group that is more generous and more genuine than the Rotary Club of Leytonstone and Woodford, who are interested in the community, who perhaps financially might be better off than other people, but they're not interested in chucking money at things. It's not about relieving their conscience, they're just kind of putting money into things so that they may feel better about themselves. It's a genuine interest. They are generous, they are genuine, and they want to be a part of something which make other people's lives better. And I am 100% sure as I say this, we are so grateful for the fact that they have been part of our ministry here in Leytonstone. They have enriched us, they have resourced us, and without them we would certainly not be where we are now. We hope you have a lovely evening, have a lovely afternoon, wherever you see this video. God bless you. Thank you.